Captain Minjun Park stood on the bridge of the HSS Indomitable and watched the stars through the main viewing screen. The ship moved quietly through space toward the bright lights of Kepler Junction. This was humanity's first real contact with alien civilizations. Minjun felt nervous but excited. "Captain, we are getting close to the space station," said Navigator Hyun-Woo Lee from his chair. The young officer looked at his screens with care. "I can see many different types of ships docked there." Minjun nodded. "Good work, Hyun-Woo. Dr. Kim, are you ready for this?" Dr. Sujin Kim looked up from her science station. She had been studying alien languages for months. "Yes, Captain. I have prepared translation programs for 12 different alien languages. We should be able to talk to whoever we meet." The Indomitable looked different from other ships in space. It was smaller than most alien vessels and had a simple design. The hull was dark gray with blue markings. To alien eyes, it might look basic or even primitive. But Minjun knew better. This ship had secrets that could surprise anyone. Far ahead at Kepler Junction, Admiral Zethkara of the Velthari Empire watched her screens with growing interest. Her long, thin fingers moved over the control panel as she studied the unknown ship. "Admiral, the approaching vessel does not match any design in our database," said her aide, a younger Velthari with bright purple skin. "Its energy signatures are unusual." Zethkara's 4 eyes focused on the data. The Velthari were known throughout the galaxy for their detailed records. If they had no information about this ship, it truly was something new. "Send a standard first contact message," she ordered. "Use the basic galactic trade language. If they are intelligent, they will understand." The message went out across space. On the Indomitable's bridge, Dr. Kim received it and smiled. "Captain, we are getting a first contact message from the Velthari Empire. They want to know who we are and what we want." Minjun thought for a moment. This was the moment humanity had prepared for. "Send our response, Doctor. Use their language perfectly. Let them know we come in peace." Dr. Kim's fingers moved quickly over her console. The reply went back to the Velthari ship in perfect galactic trade language. But that was not all. The message also included greetings in 11 other alien languages. On the Velthari ship, Admiral Zethkara stared at her screen in shock. The unknown vessel had not only understood their message but had responded in multiple languages with perfect grammar and pronunciation. "How is this possible?" she whispered. "No new species learns our languages so quickly." Her communications officer, a nervous young Velthari, looked up from his station. "The message quality is better than some of our own diplomatic communications. They seem to understand cultural context as well as language." The human message was simple and polite. Captain Minjun Park introduced himself and his crew as explorers from a distant world called Earth. He requested permission to dock at Kepler Junction for peaceful trade and cultural exchange. The message included detailed information about human biology to help with environmental needs. Admiral Zethkara had seen many first contacts in her long career. Usually, new species were afraid, aggressive, or confused. These humans seemed calm and well-prepared. It was unsettling. "Grant them permission to dock at Bay 47, she decided. "But keep our ships ready. Something about this feels different." Quote, "At Kepler Junction, news of the unknown ship spread quickly. The station was home to many different alien species. Traders, diplomats, and travelers from across the galaxy gathered to see the newcomers. The Krulon Consortium representatives were particularly interested. These gray-skinned merchants were always looking for new trade opportunities. If the humans had valuable goods or technology, the Krulon wanted to know about it. In the darker sections of the station, agents of the hegemony watched and listened. This military alliance of aggressive species did not like surprises. Unknown ships with unknown capabilities were potential threats. They began making plans. As the Indomitable approached the docking bay, Captain Minjun called his senior officers to the bridge. "Remember, we are explorers and traders," he told them. "We are not here to show off or intimidate anyone. Let them think we are simple and peaceful." Lieutenant Dalsu Jung, the weapons officer, looked uncomfortable. "Captain, what if they try to scan our ship? They will see things that might surprise them." "Rum. Our defensive systems will handle passive scans," Minjun replied. "But we are not looking for trouble. We want to make friends, not enemies." Dr. Kim checked her translation programs one more time. "Captain, I have been monitoring their communications. Many species here have never seen anything like our ship design. They think we might be primitive because our technology looks different from theirs." Minjun smiled. "Good. Let them think that for now. It will make things easier." The Indomitable docked at Kepler Junction with gentle precision. The ship's systems automatically adjusted to match the station's environment. On the outside, it looked like any normal docking procedure. But several alien observers noticed how smoothly and perfectly the human ship maneuvered. "Impressive pilot skills," Admiral Zethkara noted. "They handled that docking better than most experienced crews." As the docking clamps engaged, Captain Minjun prepared for humanity's first formal meeting with galactic civilization. He had no idea that this moment would change the galaxy forever. Dr. Kim gathered her translation equipment and scientific instruments. Navigator Lee checked the ship's systems one final time. The crew was ready for whatever came next. Outside their ship, dozens of alien species waited to meet them. Some were curious, some were hopeful, and some were already making plans. None of them knew that they were about to encounter something completely unexpected. The humans were coming. And the galaxy would never be the same. The main conference room at Kepler Junction had never held so many different species at once. Captain Minjun Park walked through the doors with Dr. Soo-Jin Kim and Ambassador Jae-Sung Choi. The ambassador had been waiting in the ship's diplomatic quarters, preparing for this moment. Around the large circular table sat representatives from 12 different alien civilizations. Admiral Zethkara, of the Velthari Empire, had organized the meeting. Her purple skin gleamed under the soft lights as she gestured for the humans to sit. "Welcome to Kepler Junction," she said in perfect galactic common language. "We are honored to meet the first representatives of humanity." Ambassador Choi bowed slightly, a gesture that seemed to please several alien species. "Thank you, Admiral. We are grateful for your welcome. Earth sends its greetings to all civilizations represented here today." Trade Prince Vextar of the Krulon Consortium leaned forward. His gray skin had silver markings that showed his high rank. "Tell us about your world, humans. What do you have to trade? What do you need?" Dr. Kim opened a small device that projected holographic images above the table. The aliens watched with interest as pictures of Earth appeared in the air. Green forests, blue oceans, and white clouds slowly rotated before them. "Our world is rich in biological diversity, Dr. Kim explained. "We have developed unique methods for growing food and healing medicine. We also create tools and art that might interest your people." The hologram changed to show human cities, farms, and laboratories. Everything looked peaceful and advanced but not threatening. Several aliens nodded with approval. "Your technology seems interesting," said Commander Rixtok of the Altarian Republic. His insect-like features moved as he spoke. "But how did you develop space travel so quickly? Most species need thousands of years." Ambassador Choi smiled calmly. "Humans are good at learning from each other. When one person discovers something, we share it with everyone. This helps us grow faster." Ruv. Esther. This was true, but it was not the complete truth. Humanity had indeed developed quickly. But they had also been watching the galaxy for much longer than anyone knew. Human scouts had been studying alien civilizations for decades. Trade Prince Vextar's eyes gleamed with interest. "We would like to see samples of your technology. Perhaps we can arrange beneficial trade agreements." "Of course," Dr. Kim said. She pulled out several small devices from her bag. These are basic examples of human engineering. The first device was a simple medical scanner. When Dr. Kim demonstrated it on herself, the aliens were impressed by its accuracy and speed. The second was a food preservation unit that could keep meals fresh for months without power. The third was a communication device that could translate between any two languages instantly. Remarkable, whispered Admiral Zethkara. These designs are so simple, yet they work better than our more complex versions. Ambassador Choi noticed the interested looks around the table. Humans believe that the best solutions are often the simplest ones. We prefer things that work well, rather than things that look impressive. The aliens began asking more questions about human culture, science, and society. Ambassador Choi answered each question carefully. He told them about human art, music, and literature. He explained human democracy and cooperation. He described Earth's peaceful nature and humanity's desire to explore and learn. Everything he said was true. But he did not mention Earth's military capabilities, defensive systems, or the size of human space territory. He did not talk about the hundreds of human ships exploring the galaxy or the advanced weapons technology humans had developed. During a break in the formal meeting, Captain Yonho Shin quietly moved through the station's corridors. As the human security chief, his job was to watch and listen. He looked like a simple ship's officer, but his trained eyes noticed everything. In a dark corner near the station's power core, he overheard a conversation between three alien species he had not seen at the diplomatic meeting. They wore black uniforms with red markings. "The humans seem weak," one of them said. His voice was harsh and mechanical. "One small ship, primitive technology, no visible weapons. The Hegemony Council will be pleased," replied another. "New species are usually easy to control or destroy." Captain Shin recorded the conversation and quietly returned to the diplomatic area. The Hegemony was a military alliance known for attacking weaker civilizations. If they were planning something, the humans needed to be ready. Back in the conference room, the formal meetings continued. Dr. Kim shared more scientific knowledge with the alien scientists. She taught them about human medical techniques and showed them new ways to grow food. The aliens were impressed but still saw humans as helpful primitives. Trade Prince Vextar was particularly excited. These human innovations could be very valuable. We should sign a trade agreement immediately. "We are interested," Ambassador Choi replied carefully. "But we would need to discuss terms with our government on Earth. Important decisions require time and consideration." Admiral Zethkara respected this answer. "Wise leaders do not rush into agreements. We appreciate your careful approach." As the day continued, more alien species arrived at the station. Word was spreading throughout the galaxy about the new human visitors. Most were curious and friendly. But Captain Shin noticed more ships arriving with hegemony markings. That evening, the human delegation returned to their ship for dinner and planning. In the Indomitable's secure conference room, they discussed the day's events. "The Velthari and Krulon seem genuinely friendly," Ambassador Choi reported. "The Altarians are cautious, but respectful. Most species appear willing to accept us as equals." Captain Shin's expression was serious. "But the hegemony is here, and they are planning something. I heard them talking about humans being weak and easy to control." Captain Minjun considered this information. "How many hegemony ships have arrived?" 12 so far, with more coming. "They are positioning themselves around the station," Captain Shin replied. Dr. Kim looked worried. "Should we leave? We came here for peaceful contact, not for fighting." "Not yet," Captain Minjun decided. "We knew this might happen. Let's see what they want. Maybe we can handle this diplomatically." Ambassador Choi nodded. "I agree. Running away now would make us look guilty or afraid. Better to face whatever comes with confidence." Outside their ship, alien communications networks buzzed with discussions about the humans. Most aliens were positive about the new species. But in the darker corners of galactic society, others were making different plans. The humans had successfully presented themselves as peaceful and simple explorers. They had made good first impressions and started building friendships. But they had also attracted the attention of dangerous enemies. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. The galaxy was about to learn that first impressions could be very wrong. War Commander Thakmor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Times Destroyer of Worlds **. His massive frame filled the command chair as he studied the tactical display. 24 hegemony warships now surrounded Kepler Junction. Each ship was armed with weapons that could destroy planets. "The human vessel is still docked at Bay 47, reported his tactical officer. "Our scans show minimal shielding and no visible weapons." Thakmor's forearms moved over his control panel. His species, the Korthak, were known throughout the galaxy as brutal warriors. They had conquered 17 worlds for the hegemony. "Excellent. Send a message to all ships at the station. We claim authority over this first contact situation. The humans will submit to complete inspection or be destroyed." At Kepler Junction, Admiral Zethkara received the hegemony ultimatum with anger and concern. She immediately contacted Captain Minjun Park. "Captain, the hegemony fleet is making demands," she said over the communication channel. "They want to board and inspect your ship. They claim authority over all first contact procedures." Captain Minjun looked calm as he responded. "Admiral, what authority do they actually have here?" "None," Admiral Zethkara replied firmly. "Kepler Junction is neutral territory. The hegemony has no legal right to make such demands. But they have many ships and powerful weapons." On the Indomitable's bridge, Captain Minjun gathered his senior officers. Lieutenant Dalsu Jung checked the weapon systems. Engineer Mi Young Song monitored the ship's defensive capabilities. Captain Yunho Shin watched security feeds from around the station. "Captain, the hegemony has enough firepower to destroy this entire station," reported Lieutenant Jung. "Their ships are old, but heavily armed." Engineer Song looked up from her console. "Our shields are charged and ready. All systems are operating at full efficiency." Dr. Sujin Kim had been monitoring alien communications. "Captain, other species at the station are worried. Many are preparing to leave. They don't want to be caught in a fight." Captain Minjun made his decision. "Send a message to War Commander Thakmor. Tell him we need 24 hours to consider his request. Explain that humans must consult with our government before allowing inspections." "Sir, are you sure?" asked Lieutenant Jung. "That might make them more angry." "Sometimes the best defense is patience," Captain Minjun replied. "Let's see how they react." The message went out to the hegemony fleet. War Commander Thakmor read it with growing rage. No species had ever asked for time to consider hegemony demands. Usually, they surrendered immediately or were destroyed. "Arrogant primitives," he growled. "They think their simple ship can protect them. Show them what real power looks like." During the 24-hour waiting period, something interesting happened. Other alien species at the station began taking sides. Admiral Zethkara publicly supported the humans' right to diplomatic consideration. Trade Prince Vex's Tar of the Krulon Consortium did the same. "The humans have done nothing wrong," Admiral Zethkara announced on the station's communication system. "They came in peace and followed all proper protocols. The hegemony has no right to threaten them." Even some species that usually stayed neutral began supporting the humans. The quiet dignity and patience that Captain Minjun showed impressed many aliens. They had never seen anyone stand up to the hegemony so calmly. But War Commander Thakmor was not impressed. He was insulted. After 23 hours, his patience ran out. "Humans, this is your final warning." His message boomed through the station. "Submit to inspection immediately, or we will destroy your ship and everyone on it." Captain Minjun's response was simple and polite. "War Commander, we respectfully decline your inspection request. We have committed no crimes and violated no laws. We ask that you respect our rights as peaceful visitors." The calm refusal made Thakmor furious. No one had ever spoken to him like that and lived. "All ships, target the human vessel. Destroy it now." 24 hegemony warships turned their weapons toward the small human ship. Energy beams and plasma bolts flew through space toward the Indomitable. Everyone on the station watched in horror, expecting to see the humans vaporized instantly. Instead, something impossible happened. A shimmering blue barrier appeared around the Indomitable. The hegemony weapons struck the shield and simply disappeared. Not reflected, not absorbed, but completely neutralized. The human ship sat calmly in its docking bay, completely undamaged. On hegemony ships throughout the fleet, tactical officers stared at their screens in shock. Their most powerful weapons had no effect at all. "Impossible," whispered Thakmor. "What kind of shielding is that?" Engineer Mi Young Song monitored the shield systems from her station. "Captain, their weapons are having no effect. Our shields are barely registering the impacts." "Good," Captain Minjun replied calmly. "Open a channel to the hegemony fleet." When the channel opened, Captain Minjun's voice was still polite but now carried a hint of warning. "War Commander Thakmor, you have attacked a peaceful diplomatic vessel without provocation. This is your one and only warning to cease hostilities immediately." Thakmor roared with rage. "Increase power to maximum. Destroy that ship." The hegemony ships tried again. This time with full power. Every weapon they had fired at once toward the human vessel. The space around Kepler Junction lit up with deadly energy. The human shields absorbed everything, without even flickering. Captain Minjun sighed. "Lieutenant Jung, show them what we can do. Disable 3 of their ships, no casualties." "Yes, sir," Lieutenant Jung replied. His fingers moved over the weapons console. Firing. 3 beams of silver light shot out from hidden ports on the Indomitable. They moved faster than anyone could track and struck 3 different hegemony ships. The weapons were so precise that they disabled engines, weapons, and shields without harming a single crew member. The 3 massive warships went dark and began drifting helplessly in space. Across the galaxy, this moment would be remembered as the day humanity revealed its true nature. A small, peaceful-looking ship had just defeated 3 hegemony warships without breaking a sweat. War Commander Thakmor stared at his tactical display in disbelief. His most powerful ships had been neutralized by weapons he could not even detect until they fired. "What are you?" he whispered over the communication channel. Captain Minjun's voice remained calm and professional. "We are humans, War Commander. We came here seeking friendship and trade. You chose to make us demonstrate other capabilities." Around Kepler Junction, alien crews watched their sensor displays with amazement and fear. The humans had revealed technology beyond anything the galaxy had seen, but they had used it with perfect precision and restraint. Admiral Zethkara spoke for many when she sent a private message to Captain Minjun. "Who are you, really?" The galaxy was about to find out. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened within 6 hours of the hegemony incident. Representatives from 47 different civilizations gathered in the Great Assembly Hall on Kepler Station. Never before had so many species come together so quickly. Captain Minjun Park sat at the witness table with his senior officers. Behind him, Admiral Zethkara and Trade Prince Vex Tar provided support. The rest of the hall buzzed with nervous conversation in dozens of languages. Council Speaker Zurmak, an ancient reptilian leader, called for silence. His voice echoed through the chamber as translation devices carried his words to every species present. "We are here to address the situation involving the humans and the hegemony attack," he announced. "Captain Park, please explain what happened and who your people really are." Captain Minjun stood slowly. He had been dreading this moment, but he knew it was necessary. The time for secrets was over. "Honorable council members," he began, "I must tell you that everything we said about humans was true, but it was not complete. We are peaceful explorers. We do seek friendship and trade, but we are not the simple, primitive species we appeared to be." A low murmur ran through the assembly. Captain Minjun activated a communication device, and a holographic image appeared above the witness table. And, it showed Fleet Admiral Sun Q Kang sitting in what was clearly an advanced command center. "This is Fleet Admiral Kang, commander of Earth's deep space operations," Admiral Kang said to the assembly. "Captain Park has permission to share the full truth about humanity." The hologram changed to show star maps, with hundreds of blue dots scattered across several spiral arms of the galaxy. Each dot represented a human outpost, research station, or patrol vessel. "We have been exploring your galaxy for 47 years, Admiral Kang continued. "We have watched, learned, and studied every major civilization represented in this council." Shocked gasps echoed through the chamber. Senator Il-sung Bey of the Velthari Empire stood up abruptly. "You have been spying on us for decades?" she demanded. Captain Minjun answered gently. "We wanted to understand your cultures and values before making contact. Too many first contact situations end in conflict because of misunderstandings. We chose to learn first and meet you when we felt ready." Intelligence Director Eunji Ryu appeared in the hologram next to Admiral Kang. She was a serious woman, with kind eyes. "We have detailed records of your civilization's histories, languages, and customs," she said. "We know about your wars, your peace treaties, your trade agreements, and your cultural achievements. We use this knowledge to approach you in the way most likely to create friendship rather than fear." Trade Prince Vextar leaned forward with interest. "You studied our economics and trade practices?" "Yes," Director Ryu replied. "We know that the Krulon Consortium values fair dealing and mutual benefit. We know that the Velthari Empire respects diplomatic protocol and careful negotiation. We know that the Altarian Republic prefers gradual relationship building." The implications sank in slowly. The humans had not stumbled into galactic civilization by accident. They had planned this first contact carefully, choosing the time, place, and method to achieve the best possible outcome. Council Speaker Zermak spoke carefully. "If you have such advanced technology and knowledge, why present yourselves as simple explorers?" Captain Minjun smiled. "Because we are explorers, first and always. Our advanced capabilities exist to protect us and others, not to intimidate or conquer. We believe that true strength comes from helping others, not dominating them." The hologram changed again, showing images of human worlds and space stations. Beautiful cities floated among the stars, surrounded by gardens and parks. Ships moved peacefully between planets, carrying supplies and people. "Our civilization spans 200 worlds," Admiral Kang explained. "We have developed technology that allows us to create new habitable planets rather than taking them from others. We have no need for conquest because we can build whatever we need." Senator Bey sat down slowly. "The terraforming technology we have heard rumors about. It really works?" Dr. Sujin Kim stood up to answer. "Yes, Senator. We can turn dead worlds into garden planets in less than 50 years. This is why we were not interested in claiming anyone's territory during first contact." War Commander Thakmor's voice suddenly boomed through the chamber. He was participating by communication link from his damaged flagship. "If you have such power, why did you not destroy my fleet completely?" he demanded. "Why show mercy to those who attacked you?" The chamber fell silent. This was the question everyone wanted answered. Captain Minjun looked directly at the communication pickup that carried his image to Thakmor's ship. "War Commander, your crews were following orders they believed were correct. Destroying ships and killing people serves no purpose when the conflict can be ended without casualties. We disabled your vessels to stop the attack, but we had no desire to harm anyone. Even your enemies? Thakmor asked, genuinely confused. Especially our enemies, Captain Minjun replied. Mercy toward defeated opponents often turns enemies into friends. Cruelty only creates more enemies. Admiral Zethkara stood up. The Velthari Empire formally requests a mutual defense alliance with humanity. We believe your values align with our own desires for peace and stability. Trade Prince Vextar immediately followed. The Krulon Consortium offers comprehensive trade agreements with humanity. Your technology and our distribution networks could benefit both our peoples greatly. One by one, other species began offering partnerships, alliances, and treaties. The humans had impressed them not just with their power, but with how they chose to use that power. But not everyone was pleased. Representatives from 3 military alliances, including the hegemony, walked out of the assembly. They saw human mercy as weakness and human patience as deception. Council Speaker Zermak called for order. This council recognizes humanity as a major galactic power and welcomes them to full membership in galactic civilization. Captain Minjun bowed respectfully. We accept with gratitude. Humanity looks forward to working with all peaceful civilizations to create a better galaxy for everyone. As the session ended, aliens crowded around the human delegation. Some wanted to discuss trade deals. Others were curious about human culture and technology. A few expressed concerns about the shift in galactic power balance. Admiral Zethkara approached Captain Minjun privately. Your people planned this very carefully, she said. But what happens now? Some civilizations will see you as a threat, no matter how peaceful you claim to be. Captain Minjun's expression became serious. We know, Admiral. That is why we revealed our true capabilities today. Better that everyone understands what we can do, so they can make informed decisions about how to interact with us. And if they choose hostility, then they will learn that mercy has limits. Captain Minjun replied quietly. We prefer peace, but we are prepared for whatever comes. The galaxy had changed forever. Humanity was no longer a mystery but a known power with clear capabilities and values. Some would choose friendship, others might choose conflict. The future would reveal which path led to wisdom. 3 months after the events at Kepler Junction, the Great Assembly Hall buzzed with activity. Representatives from 68 civilizations had gathered for the most important galactic summit in recorded history. At the center of it all sat President Seo-jun Hwang of Earth, attending his first Galactic Council meeting. The elderly Korean leader had traveled from Earth specifically for this moment. His calm presence and wise eyes impressed many alien delegates who had expected a younger, more aggressive leader from such a powerful species. Honored delegates, President Hwang began, his voice carrying clearly through the translation systems. Humanity comes before this council, not as conquerors, but as gardeners. We wish to help the galaxy grow and flourish. Admiral Zethkara, now officially Earth's strongest alien ally, sat in the front row. Beside her, Trade Prince Vextar reviewed the economic reports that showed massive improvements in galactic trade since the human revelation. The Terra Accords we propose today, President Hwang continued, are built on 3 simple principles. First, all species have the right to exist and develop according to their own values. Second, conflicts should be resolved through discussion and compromise, not violence. Third, stronger civilizations have a responsibility to protect weaker ones, not exploit them. Council Speaker Zurmak nodded approvingly. These principles align with the galaxy's highest ideals. But how can we ensure they are followed? President Hwang gestured, and a holographic display showed the current state of galactic civilization. Red zones marked areas of conflict, yellow showed regions with tensions, and green indicated peaceful, prosperous sectors. Humanity offers to serve as peacekeepers for any conflicts where our help is requested. President Huang said. "We have no territorial ambitions and no desire to rule other species. We simply want to help create a galaxy where everyone can thrive." Trade Prince Vextar stood to speak. "The economic benefits of human technology and protection have already been demonstrated. Piracy in the Krulon trade routes has dropped by 90% since human patrol ships began monitoring our shipping lanes." This was true. Human ships, with their advanced sensors and non-lethal weapons, had quietly revolutionized galactic security. Pirates found their ships disabled and their crews arrested, but unharmed. Many pirate crews had eventually been released and helped to find legitimate work. Senator Ilsung Bay of the Velthari Empire added her support. "Human medical technology has eliminated 3 diseases that have plagued our people for centuries. Their terraforming assistance has given us 6 new worlds to settle. They ask for nothing in return except friendship." The positive reports continued from species after species. Humans had shared their technology selectively and wisely. They had helped solve problems and prevent conflicts. Their presence had made the galaxy a better place. But not everyone was happy. In the Outer Rim territories, War Commander Thokmor was planning something desperate. The humiliation at Kepler Junction had cost him his position in the hegemony leadership. Now he commanded only a small fleet of ships crewed by the most aggressive and bitter warriors from several species. "The galaxy has gone soft," he told his captains. "These humans have made everyone weak with their talk of peace and cooperation. It is time to remind them that strength comes from conquest, not compassion." His target was the human colony world of New Sol, a peaceful planet where humans were helping several refugee species establish new homes. The colony had minimal defenses because it focused on agriculture and education rather than military preparation. Thokmor's fleet of 30 ships approached New Sol, while most of the galaxy was focused on the diplomatic summit. He planned to destroy the colony as a demonstration that human protection meant nothing. But the humans had not survived in a dangerous galaxy by being careless. Admiral Kyung-ho Oh commanded the human deep space fleet from his flagship, the HSS Times Guardian **. His ships monitored the galaxy constantly, watching for threats to human colonies and allied worlds. "Admiral, we have detected Thokmor's fleet moving toward New Sol," reported his tactical officer. "They will arrive in 6 hours." Admiral O had been expecting something like this. "Launch the response fleet. Full speed to New Sol. And send a message to the Galactic Council. They should see how we handle threats to innocent people." The human response was swift and overwhelming. 24 of humanity's most advanced warships converged on New Sol from 3 different directions. But these were not the simple scout ships like the Indomitable. These were humanity's true military vessels, built specifically for war. At the Galactic Council, President Huang received the report about Thokmor's attack. He called for an emergency session. "Honored delegates, a rogue fleet is attacking one of our peaceful colonies. We are responding to protect not only humans, but several species of refugees who have made their homes there. You are welcome to observe our response." The main screen in the assembly hall showed the space around New Sol. Alien delegates watched as Thokmor's fleet emerged from hyperspace and immediately began attacking the planet's surface. But before their weapons could reach the ground, human shields surrounded the entire planet. Every attack was absorbed harmlessly. Then the human fleet arrived. The battle, if it could be called that, lasted exactly 17 minutes. Human ships moved with impossible speed and precision. Their weapons disabled enemy vessels faster than sensors could track. Thokmor's 30 ships were neutralized without a single human casualty. But the most impressive moment came when Thokmor's flagship, damaged and drifting, sent out a distress call. Its life support was failing, and the crew would die within hours. Instead of leaving them to die, human rescue ships immediately moved to help. They saved every crew member, including Thokmor himself. In the Galactic Council chamber, Absolute silence greeted this display of human military power combined with human mercy. President Huang spoke into the silence. This is who we are. We will fight to protect innocent people, but we will not kill our enemies when we can save them instead. War Commander Thakmor appeared on screen from the human medical facility where he was recovering. His massive frame looked smaller somehow, diminished by defeat and confused by unexpected mercy. "Why did you save us?" he asked President Huang directly. "Because your life has value, just like everyone else's." President Huang replied simply. "We stopped you from hurting others, but we have no desire to hurt you." The alien delegates began to understand what they were witnessing. This was not just superior technology or military tactics. This was a completely different approach to power itself. Admiral Zethkara stood and began to applaud. Trade Prince Vextar joined her. One by one, every delegate in the chamber rose and applauded the human demonstration of strength through compassion. The Terra Accords were approved unanimously. Over the following months, human ships began patrolling trade routes throughout the galaxy. Conflicts that had raged for centuries were resolved through human mediation. Pirates found new careers, refugees found new homes, and the galaxy entered a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity. Captain Minjun Park, now promoted to admiral, stood on the bridge of his new flagship and watched a convoy of ships from 12 different species traveling safely through what had once been dangerous space. "Admiral," said his communications officer, "we are receiving thank you messages from the convoy. They say this is the first time they have traveled this route without fear." Admiral Park smiled. "Send our thanks in return. Remind them that safety comes from cooperation, not just protection." Dr. Sujin Kim, now Earth's chief xenobiologist, was working with alien scientists on dozens of projects. Human medical technology was being combined with alien innovations to create treatments that neither species could have developed alone. The galaxy had learned that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or their military might. It was their willingness to use power responsibly, to show mercy to enemies, and to lift others up rather than tear them down. In the outer territories, former pirates worked as legitimate traders. Refugee species built new homes on terraformed worlds. Ancient enemies sat down together to resolve their differences through discussion rather than warfare. War Commander Thakmor, after months of rehabilitation and counseling, eventually became an advocate for peaceful conflict resolution. His transformation from brutal warrior to peace ambassador became a symbol of what the new galactic order could achieve. The galaxy was not perfect. There were still conflicts, still problems to solve, still challenges to face. But for the first time in recorded history, there was hope that these problems could be solved without violence. Humanity had kept its promise. They had become gardeners of galactic civilization, helping it grow into something better than anyone had dared to imagine. And in the end, that was the most human thing of all.